Yeah.
What's that? The James Shaw, yeah. Hold the hand, and wait. Well, happy Tuesday, happy March, happy team meeting day, happy after awards day. Who had a good time on Friday night? Was that you guys turned up and it looked good. We weren't sure how the red and black theme would go, but I would say it was a winner. Red or black. People were disappointed that I didn't have red showing up. I'm like, I interpreted it as an and or. That's okay. You guys were like the red and black couple, you know, there's freedom there. We'll mix it up next year. But yeah, that was a great time. I'm grateful for those who were able to be there and hopeful more can come next year. Zoom instructions per usual. Let's kick off like we like to with some gratitude. I'll start. I'm grateful for Ashley, wherever you are. You're hiding somewhere. Where are you, Ashley?
Picking up sandwiches.
She's picking up sandwiches. But as you guys know, and as we said on Friday night, so much work goes into details and coordinating and following up and how do we do this before and should we do that again? And it's a team effort, but Ashley really owns it. So I'm grateful to you, Ashley. Thank you for getting sandwiches right now. Who else? Eric.
I'm just thankful for the brokerage here. I've met some of the best people that I could have met because of being with Keller Williams Legacy. So a lot of you I've met and know well, and there's some that I still don't know, but I still love being here. And I've been here 6.5 years and have no desire to go anywhere else. I've never been anywhere else.
Right back at you. Thanks, Eric.
To spin off on that, I also am very grateful for this brokerage and just being at the award show, seeing the camaraderie that, you know, everyone like wants to see everyone do so well and all the awards that were given. It was just really special to see that.
Yeah. Life is not a zero-sum game. We can seek to win and we can be excited about other people's wins. If someone else winning doesn't mean that I did. Who else? Sarah.
For Amanda, constantly helping me with command. I'm always learning something new with her, so thank you.
Let's stay on a good side. That's the key.
Everybody in this room.
Only one side.
It's about to be an HR here 20 minutes ago. Scott, I'm not used to seeing you over here.
Yeah, I was saying it's very often. I was just gonna say our preferred partners, because a lot of those events, if they weren't behind that, we couldn't do some of those things. So I'm thankful for all of their efforts and things here.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Totally true. Cool. We'll dive in. Last sweet thank you. I think the first slide to shine today. Yeah. It's like LSA plus the weather is like all right, we welcome a handful of folks to the office. And again, as a reminder, if you have friends that are joining the brokerage, we don't have their picture, they're gonna be behind. So Elizabeth Ewing joined us in the PC program in the Canton office. Sarah Eisenbrown joined Melissa Steiner's team here in Canton as well. Matt Adamson joined Jose Medina and Associates. Continuing on, Drew Elliott joins us as a solo agent out of our Tusk office. Alex Prorock joins us here in Canton. Tiffany Miller's been with us, but recently got licensed. So again, congratulations. Tiffany, and we got you like
You can crop it.
a couple more. Jaden Hess joins us out of our Mansfield office, joining Tina Bagnoli's team, and then April Hedrick joins the Ross group as well. So grateful for
Jaden's got a look there.
Jaden. You got it going on, man. We approve. With that, we have. Is he on here, Amanda?
Yes, I believe I saw him.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
He's here. Cool. We have a special guest because you guys have heard a little bit. And I'm gonna do this for a second. Hang on a second, Scott.
Sure.
We have Bold coming up in just like 4 weeks, which is a pretty tight time frame. Many of you have done Bold before, but we're excited to be joined by Scott Toombs, who will be our Bold coach. This go around, I'm gonna do a stop share real quick, just so people can see you a little bit better, Scott. And I'm gonna pin you. And then I'm gonna turn it on.
Perfect. I'll get started. Hey, Mark, thank you so much, number one. And I don't know if making me more present will actually help anything. So that's good. I appreciate it. Hey, we've got 10 minutes together, and I want to make sure I give value to you. So let's start off. I want you to write this down. Performance equals potential minus interference. Performance equals potential minus interference. Okay? I'm going to say it one more time. Performance equals potential minus interference. So what is performance? Well, performance is the result. Okay? That's the outcome. That's the end game. That's the goal that you're going after. Your potential, though, is what can drive you to new heights. And interference is the noise that we're going to talk about, that what we're dealing with as we're in this market. Okay? So again, all performance is your potential minus your interference. So do me a favor, just real quickly, and I can see some of you guys in the room in there. Raise your hand if you have more potential within you. Just raise your hand. If you have more potential to make more money, more potential to, oh, look at that beautiful room. It gets sunny in Ohio. Y'all get in, don't you? I like that. Yeah, well, I believe that we all believe that we have more potential. And a matter of fact, if I were to ask you, if you were to write down your goal right now, matter of fact, do me a favor, just quickly write down your financial goal for 2025. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're not going to share it with anybody. And did you set that goal because it was a stretch, or did you set that goal because it was safe? Okay, because that's potential. The potential is where our mind believes it's possible it can happen. I'll do something real quick for you. If you wrote down your goal, a lot of you think I'm going to ask you to do what? Double it, right? And I'm not. I want you to write a question underneath that number, because I want to stretch your thinking, okay? I want you to write this question under the number. Who do I need to become to make that amount every single month? Who do I need to become to make that amount every single month? And what happens is, a lot of us, our mind completely leaves us right then. We go, it's not possible. I'm not even there. And yet, potential-wise, whatever number you have written down is already being done every single month in this industry by somebody. So you have a tremendous amount of potential. So what are the interferences that we're getting? Well, you know what's interesting about interference is we will say things that we have zero control over. We'll say, it's the weather's interfering. It's cold in Cleveland in the winter. We can say that it's, another agent. I don't have the social media. We can come up with all types of things that we believe are the interference. And yet, the number one interference is the 8 inches between your ears. That's the number one interference. Do me a favor again, Mark, you can just tell me if people are raising your hand. How many of you have ever taken a class before, like got super fired up, dressed up, showered, brushed your teeth that day, went to class, took notes, went home, and never did a thing with it? Anybody besides me? Yeah. Well, I do believe that we have that potential. We have a desire, and that's what Bold does differently. And I got to tell you, this is a different Bold. Onward Bold was written by Gary Keller because he wanted a direct message with the real estate agents in this company. A matter of fact, we took all the material from 2009 on, brought it into the writing room. Gary asked us to remove it and ask one single question. What do our agents need now? So Onward Bold is about 99.5% different than Bold was. We have 8 Bold laws in one conversation from the original Bold. So what does it have to offer? Where you're going to see social media every single week, and we're following Kent Pozak's social media ladder, which, by the way, Kent did over $6 million in GCI in his 7th year in real estate using this ladder. We're also going to have you multiple types of conversations, from re-engaging with your database, from business to business, from micro events. Gary said this, he said, how do we have the ego to believe that there's only one way to do something? So there are many different frameworks for you to go pull what you're going to do. You're going to get front to back multiple listing presentations and buyer consultations. And we're going to do something that Bold has done since 2009. That's bring the accountability, which we all seek and desire. The person with the highest form of accountability usually wins. Now, here's what's interesting. I'm not here to sell you on Bold. What we're doing and your leadership is doing is fighting for your greatness. How many of you have a voice in your head that's talking to you right now? Just, yes, anybody? And if you don't, then I need you to go get some checks, because you should always have a voice talking to you. Now, that voice is probably saying, oh, all Mark does is throw eye candy on the screen and think we're going to register. And I get that, okay? Yet, I want you to understand that that voice is fighting for your comfort. It does it every day. The most comfortable place until it's not, until regret sets in, is continuing to do the same thing. Here's something that my mentor told me a long time ago that I wrote down and I remind myself of on a daily basis. You're born like your parents, you die like your choices. And I remind myself of that because every day we make choices that are scary, choices that we're uncomfortable with, or we make choices that we're comfortable with until they become the uncomfortable choice. Bold was written for you, and it was written for this morning. And a matter of fact, Gary says this, and I wrote it down, so I'm going to read it to you. He says there's two types of agents. One who sits back and waits for things to change, or the ones who know if it's to be, it's up to me. Where do I have to grow? What do I need to learn to succeed? If you look at that goal you wrote down and you really think about hitting that goal, what that would mean for you, your family, your vacation, your kids, grandkids going into debt, your community, what would you not do to attain it? I'm asking you to choose what is the number one coaching and productivity program in the real estate industry, written by the number one mind in the real estate industry for the last 4.5 decades. And we're excited to bring it to you. And Mark, also, just so you know, and I say this to every single group, if you register for Bold and you come up to me at the end of Bold and say, Scott, it didn't work, okay, I will write you a $799 personal check back to you. I've done that my entire 11 years coaching Bold. I was telling Mark, it'll be 149th time that I've taught Bold. And here's what I find to be interesting. I will say this, did you do the work? Okay, not a little bit of it, did you do all of it? Because here's what we know, Bold works 100% of the time that you work it. Did you notice that when you walk, you go somewhere? That's how Bold is. You just have to take the steps. And the final question I'll leave you with, and I'll open it up if you have any questions, is if not this, what? My biggest fear for people is that the way to regret weighs tons, and when it's regret, it's too late to change. Bet on yourself, invest in you, and go find out what potential is really out there for you, your life, your outcome. And we want you to be in there. So I'm sure you have registration slips. Don't have your team leaders have to force you to do this, although they will. Do the right thing for you in your business. Does that sound good? Any questions, any ahas, any takeaways? And then I'm going to make sure I respect your time. I can't hear them.
I was asking.
I feel like we're about to do a rap video.
I think we're
You can delete it off. Go ahead. Hey, I'm going to jump, Mark, okay? If y'all need me, please reach out to me. As a matter of fact, I'll give you my cell phone number. You have any questions, call me. It's 956-222-9089. 956-222-9089. I love talking about this class. I love talking about this industry. It has changed the trajectory of my family, and I'm super grateful for it. Hey, Cleveland, y'all go have a great one, or Canton, Northeast Ohio. I appreciate you so much. Let's get bold.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate you.
Is your volume on?
I have that.
Go back, share screen.
Yeah.
And Whitney.
We're killing it with the tech today. It's gonna end then.
Oh, that's a nice slide.
Thank you, Scott, if you are still here. Scott's doing 3 of these in this hour between both sessions. He goes hard.
Where's he from? The accent?
So he, Louisville is home. I can't remember if he lives in Texas now or it's vice versa. Erica, I'm looking at you as though you might know.
I thought he was still in Kentucky, but
Yeah,
maybe Tennessee.
Ah.
That's a Kentucky accent.
No, I know, but he may.
I think he's from Kentucky, but he went to Texas for a season with PW and Kentucky.
Accent is on point.
Kentucky is home. Scott, if you're still here, we love the accent. You get it for 6 weeks in bold. So how many of you in the room have done bold before? I know a good handful. Awesome. So we, as a market center, I know that sometimes people feel like, gosh, you're just putting stuff in front of us. I get it. I'm over it. I'm not into it. We believe in bold, and we want to partner with you in bold. So this is not just a, hey, you guys should do this. Come on, go do it. Go spend money and do the thing. And so our approach is we want you to feel us standing with you in that. So the plan that we're doing that's similar to what we've done in the past with a tweak, is, so it's $799, $800. Through your first 4 deals that you'll do, so you're doing deals in bold, you're not just sitting taking notes, doing nothing. It's designed to get you into productivity. But the first 4 deals from the time bold starts through 6 months after bold ends, which. Go ahead, Cassandra.
It's the first 6 deals after you graduate from Bold
Okay,
with
Okay.
full attendance.
upon graduation with full attendance, yeah, you're not signing up and, yeah, why would you do that? So for everyone, for 4 deals on which company dollar is paid, so if you're capped, we're not bringing in any money, et cetera. So you can get, basically, we're reimbursing you up to half the cost of bold. First 5 who register, we'll do it through 6 deals. So we'll cover 600 of the $800, which, again, if you do the work, you'll get the outcome. That's what we're doing. We've got a lot of ground to cover. Any questions? You've been getting some emails about it. One important detail is there's first step to bold. That is a free, come to the first day, get a taste of it, learn stuff. And then there's steps 2 through 6. It's a separate registration. So there are 2 registration links. We'll drop it on the Facebook page today. You'll get more emails about it, but you do need to register for both. Just so that is clear. So registering for the full one doesn't automatically register you for first step, which is annoying to me. They didn't take my feedback. I'm sure there's good reasons for it. Yeah, Caitlin.
Is it Fairlawn this year?
Yes, thank you. So it's gonna be Thursdays, starting April 17th in Fairlawn at St. George's, which is off the Ridgewood Road exit, where we did it when you were helping to coordinate it. Yep, when Scott did it as well, just running it back Groundhog Day style. Cassandra, why didn't you come on out? The lovely Cassandra Stevens, everybody.
So January profit share, we were at $19,515.79. I said January and I meant February, I can't talk to that, it's fine. Our 2025 total is $33,711, which is fantastic.
Good for number 37 in KW, guys. You know where we need to go. And we are ahead of Elevate for those who care.
Not that we care.
Not that we care.
All right. And our February cappers, we had Diana Porterfield, Melissa Sanford, and Lee Smith Geyser. And then our February top producers list. Look at all those columns.
February?
Wow.
Great job. That's a massive list and probably 30% longer than our January list was. So,
Definitely.
we feel the market thawing a little bit. It's not easy still, but way to get after it. And then one other thing that Cassandra and I wanted to clarify, because I've had a handful of you ask, flowing out of awards night. So, these are the award levels. So for those of you who say, I got award of achievement and I want to hit bronze next year, because I like seeing progress. Several of you have asked me, some of you have even challenged me, on whether these, are these different from one year to the next? So again, we round up. So if you only sold 9 homes, but it was worth more than $1 million, you're an award of achievement winner. Similarly, if you sold 50 homes, but it was north of 7 million, you're gonna get gold there. Most people get it based upon volume we've seen, but those were the tiers that you were awarded based on, and we're gonna hold that line moving forward. Questions there? We can drop that on the Facebook page too for those who are curious. Cool. Thanks, Cassandra. All right, Mr. Rich. Come on up.
Okay, so yesterday was the last day to pay your MLS Now dues, so the $35,000 that we owe, all of your licenses are going back today. We won't do
We're
that.
so glad you're here. Chuck.
Yeah, there you go. But please pay them because they do need paid and they were due yesterday at the end of the day. And that's for MLS Now, not for any other MLSs, so log in and pay. Something that I wasn't able to cover, I was sick last team meeting and I know the team did a good job trying to cover some of this stuff for me, but something I'd never heard of the Division of Real Estate before at Ohio Realtors convention was that the superintendent of real estate and legal counsel for the division were up front and they had a panel. And something that they shared was, again, something I've never heard, but I'm making you aware of it in case you're one of these folks. I don't know how it will be covered at the division, they didn't say, but basically, if you are an agent, a single agent operating and saying that you are a team or a group, meaning that you should have more than 2 licensees on your agency disclosure forms, they're calling that a misrepresentation to the public. And so they are saying that if you are not more than one person, you might have multiple personalities in this business, but if you are not more than one person, you cannot use group or team or shouldn't be. So I say that to you. I know we have some people in the room that do that and some people on Zoom. It's up to you. I'm not telling you can't do it, but I will tell you that if you get turned in, I don't know what the consequences of the division will be because we haven't seen this play out yet. And it's the first time I've ever heard them say it. Yes.
So if I'm a licensed agent and I have an unlicensed admin, I'm not.
No.
2 licensees.
2, yes.
Selling licensees.
Right, well, 2 active licensees, whether they're selling or not,
Okay.
maybe you have one that's licensed, one. You're both licensed, but maybe one
One's an
does do admin,
Okay.
but 2 licensees that are on the agency disclosure form is considered a team or a group in the division's eyes. But if you're a single agent and you're advertising that way, they're saying it's a misrepresentation of the public, so you might want to change that. Using an alternate name for $10, you can use any name that you want. You just have to advertise it with the Division of Real Estate, or I guess pay your $10 and register it with the Division of Real Estate.
Someone needs to change their name to Sold, Sold Sandvig,
We had Mark Service Esber and, for
Yeah.
a long time, and he changed it to that. So you can do that. Again, it used to be if I was Richard, I could use Rich and it was easy. I didn't have to file anything. You now have to file. So if you are Michael, but you go by Mike, file it. I know that the staff is really good about helping when you come on board with us, but if you changed your styles and decided to advertise as something else, please make sure you register that with the division. It's $10 and it's well worth it. So make sure you're doing that. Social media policy, again, that was somewhat covered. I'm gonna kind of have a heart to heart with you folks. Can you please stop putting things on Facebook that have anything to do with sex, race, religion, familial status, anything that you should not be posting as a real estate professional? I'm asking you to please stop because believe it or not, in the last month, I have gotten more complaints from members of the public and our own real estate agents because you guys are posting things that you shouldn't post. If you don't know and you don't have firsthand information about something, do not post it. I can tell you that we did ourselves a very big disservice, and I don't mean you in this room, but I mean the realtor organization. There was an agent out of Columbus that was not a realtor. Anybody can tell me the difference between a realtor and a licensee? Guess what? She was not a realtor. And what did we do? everybody went on Facebook and commented about this realtor that said very poor things to somebody that waited on them at a restaurant, and unfortunately, we all posted it like it was the best news in the world. Well, guess what? It was terrible news for a realtor organization, and she wasn't even a realtor, so we did a terrible disservice. So please stop posting things unless you have personal knowledge of what that is. And the same thing with your own lives. If you're using your personal page for real estate, they flow together. Whatever you're posting comes back to this brokerage. So please, we don't, like I said, I don't want to have a principal meeting with you, but it is really a heart to heart. Please stop posting things that you know better than to post, and don't comment on things that you shouldn't comment on. Okay? Last thing, real quick, our agency policy, every brokerage has a long form agency policy. Ours is 7 pages. It explains how we work in the state of Ohio. Every brokerage, this is mandatory. It is in .loop under brokerage information or office information and policies. I need you to all go in there, read it. You have to sign this last page and send it to us. If you don't do that, we will be tracking you down over the next month to get you to sign it. You all most likely signed these when you onboarded with our company. However, because of the changes in August of last year, we had to change how we do real estate. There is no more MLS commission, things like that. So that has changed. We didn't change the policy on anything else, but that is the part that changed. So you do need to re-sign it. I don't need the whole thing, just page 7. So please go in, read it, sign it, send it to me, send it to Mark. I don't care what member of leadership you send it to.
Don't send it to me.
Okay. That's fair. I don't even know why I said that. Forget what I just said. Send it to me or any other member of leadership, other than Mark, because I will get it.
Tell us where to find it.
It is in .loop under office information and policies. I updated that tab. All of our policies are starting to go in there too, so that you have them. Amanda?
I have a question from Ginger on Zoom, and she
Okay.
said, do I need every agent on my team listed on the agency disclosure?
Every agent in this brokerage has to sign this, as well as every employee.
No, this is,
Disclosure.
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
Agency disclosure.
Yes.
regards to the group or team member.
Team name.
Well, you can't put a team name. I'm not understanding the question.
She means, do we need to put Ginger, Joel, Danielle, Melina, me on every agency disclosure for every transaction?
No, and I would
Just the
never
agents that
encourage you to do
pertain to
that.
that.
Yes, only
Keep
the
them
agents on the team that are going to touch that file should be on there. I never encourage a blanket team agency disclosure that you've seen other companies have, because every agent on that team will be found guilty if there's a violation. And I don't want to be responsible for something that I have no control over. So, yeah. Any other questions?
That's the thing. You've had to deal with the situation where more names were on than were necessary.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I always get named, but I'm the broker. If you mess up, I mess up.
We all go down together. Cassandra.
Nicole also has copies of the social media policy for folks to sign.
Yes, so the social media policy is, we are gonna ask you to sign it. It's not gonna be the end of the world. You all here should sign it on your way out, understand it. It is in .loop if you don't have it. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna update our independent contractor agreement that is going to say that you all agree to comply with our policies and procedures, so that we don't have to keep getting you to sign things as they change. We will update you on the changes, but the independent contractor agreement will be updated to say that you agree to follow all of our policies. So for now, you can get that signed, but moving forward, we won't keep coming to you and asking you to sign these things.
You want to talk about financial crimes?
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you put that up there. Yeah, thank you.
You're full of
So-
great things.
I'm just full of all kinds of good information today.
Yeah.
Federal crimes, I'm going to work for, who is this, the Treasury Department? No, we have, I guess, until March 1st or 21st to file your beneficial ownership information with the US Treasury Department. It is free, you can do it, you can have your tax preparer do it, whoever, they might charge for it. This is something that if you own an LLC, the government wants to know that you have a social security number, your address, driver's license, information that verifies you own the LLC or whoever owns it. So if Mark and I own an LLC together, the BOI has to be completed. We have to have both of our information on it. I put this up here because it was something that went into place that was supposed to be January of 2024.
Right.
They got rid of it, then they brought it back January of 25, then they got rid of it again. Now they're saying by March 21st that if you have an LLC, that you need to register this. I don't know if it's gonna go away again. Just be aware of it. They said they can fine you up to $500 a day, so I wouldn't mess around with it, I would just file it. Whether you need to or not.
At the end of the year last year, we're good. We don't do it again.
If you already did it, you're fine, but a lot of people didn't
Yeah.
because they said, oh, just kidding, you don't have to do it, so.
But if we did it, we're good.
You should be good, yes. And I'm not your attorney, so I say you should be good. I'm not refiling mine, how's that?
Yeah.
So I'll be right there with you.
That's my understanding of it as well.
Okay. Anything else?
Okay, was there another chat question there, Amanda? I thought I saw something pop.
S Corp also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, an S corp is the way that you file through, this is for an
As
LLC.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you file as an S corp, but you have an LLC, yes, register the LLC.
Can you share that on the Facebook page?
I can't, but somebody can.
Ashley, can you help with that?
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, Rich, as always. Best broker in the business. All seats from the back end. All right, Sarah is here. There she is. The lovely Sarah Donahue. Let's give her a hand. Sarah.
I'm better off this time. I'm shaky, but I'm.
Oh,
Hi.
yeah.
We have a little bit of so I'm Essential Leverage, I'm Sarah, of course, we do transaction coordinating. We have a little bit of an up brand, new branding, we are now called K1 Services, just to kind of know that we have always been with KW under that umbrella. We're just kind of services for K1 network. We are, of course, transaction coordinating, and then there's marketing and social media and stuff like that. I do not do that, that is a gal named Sophia, but I can get you in contact with her. For transaction coordinating, I just want to kind of relay how I'm here to help. So as soon as you guys go under contract, I am to kind of look over documents, just be your right hand lady. And to see where you need help, kind of just take over the reins wherever you feel comfortable. I don't want to do anything without you guys knowing about it. You'll be CC'd on everything. And it's essentially just to make sure you're in compliance, you're meeting the deadlines. I'm doing a lot of follow-up, and doing a lot of things in command to make sure your opportunity and everything's submitted in a timely manner for Cassandra and Nicole. But essentially, anything you really need, nothing is so set in stone that I would say, no, I won't do that. I want to make sure your business is first and front, and I want to adapt to your business. So I'm just here to help. And of course, we are not on a contract. If you guys need help per transaction, that's great. If you have 3 going, you only want help with 1, I'm here. I'm just here. So,
Question for you is how does it feel to be married to the best dressed man?
oh, it's great. My voice hurt. I'm sorry for screaming if you were near my.
Our hearts all went a flutter when the gun show came out.
And then the last point, I just want to say it's a one-time fee. And it's not due until you guys close. And of course, if you guys don't close, then I don't get paid. So why would you have to pay me? Or you don't get paid? Yeah. So $325 per transaction. However you guys want to do it from there.
Awesome.
So, thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate it. For those who weren't at awards night, Preston. Hold on. All right, family reunion highlights. So a handful of us, I think it was 12 or 15 of us, went to Vegas. What was it, a month ago? Almost, not quite. Which is our big annual event of the year. So I just want to hit kind of a few key points, and then we'll hear a few takeaways from a few of our folks that went, and we'll keep the show rolling. So vision speech, and just as a PSA, I'm just going to show you a couple of these slides. We did a K1 market of the moment call a week or 2 or 3 ago, where we talked in greater depth about this, and you have access, and we can drop this on the Facebook page as well. It's in KW Connect as well, for the full slide deck from the vision speech. It's basically Gary talking about the numbers that drive real estate, numbers that drive our economy, as well as like what are we seeing specifically as real estate agents. In super broad brushstrokes, home sales were what last year, up or down? Down. It was the 3rd lowest year since 1990, or it's the lowest year since 1995, number of home sales. Home prices were what last year? So most of you, if you were doing your work, you didn't feel like you were going broke because you may have sold 20% fewer homes, but the average sale price kind of buoyed you there. So our total market volume was the 3rd highest in kind of modern real estate history. So, you know, units times price equals volume, and even though sales were down, because prices remain up, that's what what we were encouraged by, or what we were buoyed by, perhaps falsely. Inventory is trending right now. Is it trending up or down? Up, yes, it is trending up, kind of meaningfully. These are national numbers, that Gary is talking through, but we're seeing encouraging trends here. I'll tap a lender, Cliff, and we'll get you. Mortgage rates are doing what right now? Holding, ticking up, ticking down.
They're starting to tick down a little bit now. Yeah, which is a good sign.
Not
So-
perhaps as dramatically as some would have hoped, but
Right.
it is kind of.
Yeah, it's
beginning.
definitely on I think we're done going like this. We're kind of now.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Lord willing, and the good news here is, and we see this on a per client basis, it's normalizing. Whether the rates are doing this or not, the average buyer is saying, oh, I guess rates are in the sixes now. They're not in denial about waiting for things as much. We still have our in denial buyers and sellers. But people are normalizing that in the market. Gary had a really good conversation as it relates to affordability. So affordability is basically, how much do homes cost relative to how much do people make, in super simple, broad brushstrokes. Our affordability index is still very strong, which means the average income, as a percentage of, the average home price as a percentage of the average person's income is still very reasonable. It is trending up. So it is more expensive to own home, as you factor in the total cost of ownership, but in the grand scheme of things, it's still very, very meaningful. It was 32% was the number of your income is going towards housing. To put that in perspective, in Canada, it was nearly double that number. And Canada has a very healthy housing economy. And so we had kind of a deeper conversation around, yes, the housing market has become tougher to buy than it used to be, or more expensive to buy. But the affordability issues that people face have more to do with the choices they make than the fact that housing is really out of place. Gary made a comment that we invest more in experiences than we do in assets. Hey, I'd rather get the fancy brunch with my friends than think about investing in my IRA. And that's a generational challenge that we need to think through. And then a couple things. One of the notes as it relates to the US economy, and I'm not going to go deep on any of these things. So much as to say, real estate as an industry is impacted by the US economy on the whole. He went fairly deep and he spent more time on this than he normally does, talking about kind of the major factors that impact the United States economy. GDP is healthy, and that GDP measures basically, are people spending money? It took a dive during kind of post-COVID, like, hang on for dear life, like what's really happening right now, but it's healthy. Unemployment is healthy. Right now it's at about 4%, which is kind of what they want to see. But the problem is the personal savings rate is in the gutter. You hear, oh, I should invest 10% in long-term investments, I should save 10% of my income. Our personal savings rate as a nation is much lower than that. That's not an income problem, that's a life choice problem for most people. And then inflation has obviously factored into that. Interest rates, to what Cliff was touching on there, they haven't dropped as dramatically as we would have hoped, simply because the economy as a whole is healthier than the real estate industry is as a whole right now. And so our national government is not incentivized to make changes or make more dramatic cuts, because the problem doesn't exist in other places, though the solution would impact all other places. I'm not going to talk about trade policy. He spent like 20 or 30 minutes talking about tariffs and stuff. It goes pretty deep, and it is a pretty volatile environment right now as it relates to how our nation and our government is relating to other nations and governments from an economic standpoint. I'm not talking politics, but that is a thing, and it is something worth paying attention to. And the more unsettled people feel about the political landscape, the more hesitant they are going to be in their personal choices. So we know that, but that's just important to know. A couple just sound bites that I took away that I think are helpful as we think about how should this impact how I relate to my clients or approach my work on a day in, day out basis? One key thing that Gary said is that our job as professionals is to bring perspective. We think that, oh, my job is to help serve buyers and sellers. My job is to help people's dreams come true. Yes, but bringing perspective means data, means here's what you can expect as a buyer in this market. Here's what the process will look like. Here's what, you know, you're not overpaying for this home. You know, like it's helping slow people down and not give opinion, but bring perspective. Jason Abrams shared, and I shared this on the K1 call. For the person that says, I don't want to buy in case it crashes, I want to wait until the market drops in order to buy the home, which we've all, if we've been in this industry for more than a few minutes, we've heard someone say that. He said, you might be buying at the top of the moment, which is, this year. What if it goes down next? That happens, but you're never buying at the top of the market. As we look at kind of here for you guys, over time, it always goes up and to the left. There might be blips along the way, but we've heard buy real estate and wait, don't wait to buy real estate. And Gary said, do you want to be house broke now or later? Which is a sassy way to talk with someone who's asking that question. But if you're prioritizing fancy brunches over saving for assets, you are choosing to be house broke later, is effectively the argument that he was making, which I thought was a spicy way to put it. And then one, unrelated to this, but as we think about what we do in relating to our past clients, so 87% of sellers, when surveyed upon selling their home, said that they would gladly work with their agent again. Oh, Mike and Tara, they did a great job for us. 9 out of 10 people said I'd gladly work with Mike and Tara again. But only 27% of those people actually did. What's the takeaway from that? Love to hear one. Mercedes.
They would work with them before, but they aren't getting touched enough. Or then when they want to buy or sell later, they're not top of mind still.
Yes. Yeah, Amanda.
I wanted to work with them, but I can't remember their name.
Yes. Yeah. How many of you have gotten a client from that? Like, hey, who do you know? Yeah, and they're like, yeah, I worked with a guy. He was nice. Yes, Scott.
We sent out one of those automatic things. What is it?
Smart plans.
The smart plan, thank you. And the guy said, hey, I got that. I was trying to remember your name. Yeah.
That's one of those like things. Yeah, just in time because he was getting ready to call Tiffany.
Tell them what database. And I was Scott, tell them what database you use.
I'd be like, absolutely not.
Tell them what database you use.
Oh, Command.
Yeah, I mean, does that thing. So that's the takeaway. You're right, Mercedes. Some people might say that sellers are liars, but no, our job is to stay top of mind. And if someone's only buying or selling every 7 to 10 years, for us to assume that they're going to remember who we are, if we don't proactively and systematically stay in touch with them, is naive. We've all had our feelings hurt by someone who we know selling with someone that isn't us. And that's a good opportunity to look in that mirror, the 73%, on the other side of that, you should look in the mirror and say, how can I be better? All right, so vision speech was great, but there's also bajillion sessions that we went to as well. So I've asked a few people, Cindy, Gina, and Christian, if they would be willing to share kind of one key takeaway from their time, the family reunion. Christian, gentleman first.
Cool, yeah, I'll stand up. So first and foremost, bold. Scott Toombs did bold in 2022, I think.
21, yeah.
21, yeah. And man, that was really good. You told me to get into it, and I got the boom goes. I think my business went up like 4,000% after that. So it's a good program. It's lead gen though. I mean, if you're not getting on the phone during bold, that's what it is. So if they tell you it's not, it is. But this is kind of a good segue because I was going to talk about the 10 bold truths session that Gary Kelly did. He was talking about a thing called myelin.
Actually, you guys come down here so people on Zoom can see you. Sorry. Keep on going. Talk to you walk.
Yeah. So the way that you work out a muscle to get it stronger and bigger is the same way that you build habits. And I had this aha last night that the way that I worry about my problems is what makes me me. So
Steve.
Yeah, so, it was really pretty profound to figure out that like. The more consistent and deliberate you are with your practice throughout your whole day, if you do the same thing every day. And it's the things that are gonna get you closer to what you wanna do. You're gonna be, just building the neural pathways. So then the next thing was about converting with more persuasive economic conversations. So Gene Rivers, I don't know if you've had him here yet, but he goes around the country and he's super good at just trick coaching. He was talking about when you put a house on the market and it doesn't sell, you're being interviewed by every single one of the neighbors who's around the house. And so although you don't necessarily get hired by having a sign up, you will be discredited if your listing doesn't sell, or if it sits on the market for a while and the flyer box has like soap brochures in it and your sign's all crooked.
It's true.
You'll get fired before you even get hired. So you'll hurt yourself if you keep a listing too long. So Gene Rivers says that every 10 days you should be doing something with the listing. Whether it's a price change or something we like to do is change the pictures around a little bit to get more interest, and that works sometimes. So yeah, that's my takeaways.
Cool, awesome, thanks, Christian.
Yeah.
Dean and Cindy, why don't you guys come up together?
Yes.
Yes, you go ahead. Cindy, yeah.
Okay, so the one thing that I thought to start out with is, this is how Jose says it, which I think that is a great way to put it. Education without implementation is just entertainment.
Yeah.
So going into this, I have gone to Bold, and I've done different meetings throughout my 13 years of doing this. And you have to take it and do it. So that's one of the biggest things that stuck out. It was not worded like that in a session I went to. So I am working on making a little spreadsheet to implement some of the stuff. So one thing that was said, I went to a couple sessions by Phil M. Jones. He was phenomenal. I went to him one day and then I was like, that's amazing. Found one the next day, went back. It was great. He is very dynamic and I loved every minute of these sessions. This was the best convention I have been to in my career. So one thing that he talked about with online meets is something that he said OFQ, which was an opening, a fact, and easily answered questions. So you find a polite opening, good morning. And then you do a fact, something that's mutually agreed upon. You were checking out our property at 123 Main, which they were, and then an easily answered question. So that could be something like, where are you living now? How long have you been there? Are you renting? Something that's easy and interactive. Yes and no questions are just, they don't spark the conversation. So be careful of asking yes or no questions.
That's a great, I mean, because the question we're tempted to ask is, would you like to schedule a time to see it, which is a yes or no question.
Right.
And if they say no, where do you go from there? But if you go the direction of open-ended, it gives you the opportunity to build rapport.
Right, and I love that he had this whole interaction with everyone that was in the session, because everyone does ask these yes or no questions. And so he did this back and forth until he actually got everyone where they needed to be, which I thought was great. Open house greetings, where did you travel from to be here today? Why, instead of, are you a neighbor? Are you looking to buy a house? Asking them, where'd you come from today? It just sparks another conversation. Another thing that he put up the word listen, and then he rearranged them because the word listen are the same letters as silent. And that to me was very intentional. Like, we are not to sit here and talk our heads off about us and the job and how long I've been doing this and my experience and all the things. Get them talking to you by asking these questions. And so I thought that was really good. I had a lot.
Keep going.
Sam.
I can send you all my notes if you want them. He said in relation to the listen and silent thing, that listening is the most underutilized action. And I can tell you that that's one of the biggest successes I have had in my career.
Yeah.
Is connecting with people and asking the questions and truly, I use the CRM to take the notes. Because if you come back to them and say, I know you guys were facing a challenge a couple months ago, your husband had surgery. I have all that in my notes. So then when I call back and be like, how is your husband? It is a connection that no one else is gonna make, because as soon as you make it about the sale and not about the person, you're losing them.
Yeah.
So to me, that was one of the hugest things, is that listening and communication. And the other thing that, and this will be the last thing I say, but I absolutely love this, and he's talking about. A lot of it is scripting. We all hate scripting. Who hates scripting? I hate scripting. We do it all the time. We're forced to script. I have to write the script now. It's just scripting sucks. It's play a game. I like scripting. I love it now. I hated it then. We had a stupid game we had to play a while ago. That was awful
many
with
feelings.
these cards. Anyway, scripting is hard and nobody wants to do it. It gets you out of your comfort zone, but mess up with the people that you trust instead of messing up with the client.
Yeah.
And one thing that he said that I thought was absolutely phenomenal is you should spend more time practicing than on game day, just like professional athletes. They practice, they practice, they practice, they practice, they practice, and then they go play a game. So if you're expecting to go play the game without putting in the practice, you're not gonna win.
Yeah.
So those are my biggest takeaways.
The word tinsel is also in listen.
This is what you've been doing.
I like word games. All right, sorry. Who's listening? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Tina, how about you?
I don't know where to go from there. All right, so I went to a panel on social media, and the topic was something to the effect of spending 10 minutes a day on social media can make you $1 million. And so that kind of pulled me in. So I want to know not who uses social media. I know we all use social media, but who uses social media to actually get a lead? Like who has recently? Like even myself, I have a buyer and a seller from this weekend who's someone that's so far down how I know them. But because of being on social media, she DM'd me and said, hey, I know you're really busy, but could you help me sell my house and buy one? From social media. So I was there at the panel, and the one story that I heard that really spoke to me was this girl who's probably in her mid-30s. She said about 5 years ago, she was in corporate America. She was making $40,000 a year. She just had a baby, and she wanted real estate to be the thing to get her to be able to quit her job so she can be home. So she did that, and every single day she was posting on her social media about mom life. Here I am again with the baby, trying to write an offer, not at showings, but at writing an offer. And she got such a following from people in her community, where she at, what she doing with her child, and how she wants real estate to be the thing that becomes her full-time job so that she can be a better mother. She now makes $1 million a year in real estate only from social media. She never pays for an ad, sorry, Amanda. She only does it by her following. So, you know, it got me thinking too. I have all these lists of things I want to do every year, and I'm gonna do some of them. And one of them really has been, what do I do 10 minutes a day on social media? Like, what's the thing? It's not just creating a post. It really came down to the engagement. And so I literally myself, Mark knows, a month ago, I went ahead and I started joining all of these Facebook groups, going into the Facebook groups, and every time someone asks a question or comments on something, I'm engaging. I'm getting myself in a little trouble because like I went on and said, oh, I have one of those, and I didn't. But so then I'm creating stuff now to send to people.
I'm about to have one of those.
Oh, so any opportunity I have to say I can help you with that, even if I really don't have a resource for it, I'm doing that. I'm friend requesting them, then I'm direct messaging them. I have 178 people on a spreadsheet right now, just from a month ago, from engaging 10 minutes on social media.
That's awesome. Cool. Great takeaways. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate you. I'm so glad that Cindy mentioned Phil Jones, so, if you're on Zoom, feel free to grab this, if you're in the room, you can grab this, we can email this out as well, but that's a QR code to Family Reunion 25 Unlocked, so. So often people are saying, we want a recording of something. Not every single session was recorded, but a bunch of the key ones were, including one of Phil Jones's sessions. Gary's 10 Bold Truth sessions, a vision speech, you get to log in there for free. And continue to learn. My recommendation, back to 10 minutes a day, is watch one of these a day and think about what it could mean for your life and your business. So loads of value there. They've never done this before. So take advantage while they're doing it. Pretty cool. All right, I guess it's that time for the Cavs ticket giveaway. Yes. So what's the date? Wednesday, April 2nd, the Cavs play the New York Knicks. Number 1 versus number 3 Eastern Conference playoff seeding implications. And we'll purchase the tickets because the tickets purchased will get sent directly to the email of the winner. So again, as we did last month, the winner, you gotta be in the room, we're on the Zoom. We spin someone's name who is not here.
I'm gonna unmute because that one might be muted. Is Sandy on the, you still can't see? No, Sandy. Sam Holmes is so delighted. Life is not a zero-sum game. This is a zero-sum game. This is literally a zero-sum game. I think it might be Jenny. Jenny, are you on? Oh my gosh. This is the last time we're doing this. What's the lesson? Come to team meeting. I was like, do this after the fact.
Okay, there's that Mercedes.
Married couples do not count. You do. Oh my goodness. I mean, are we playing through here? I feel like we got to play through. If you want to leave, you're welcome to leave. It is noon, but I recommend you stay in the room. Yeah. Well, actually, this is such a climactic moment.
Not Eric again.
RC, no.
Michelle is sometimes on the Zoom. Is she on the Zoom? Who is that? Michelle Knight! How you feeling, Sam? All right.
Yay!
All right, Michelle, congratulations.
Thank you.
You earned that. All right. We just have a couple quick things to hit. All right, Michelle, way to be. Proud of you. Gina and I are hosting 7 Things Real Estate School Didn't Teach You tomorrow night, 5 to 6:30 here. If you know someone who's interested in a career in real estate or who's struggling elsewhere in a career in real estate, this is for them. If you're leading a team that's interested in meeting folks that might be interested in joining a team, you're also welcome to come. You should have gotten an invite from me as it relates to that. Tonight, 5 to 7:30, the Star Shaker is going on at the M Bar. Is it M Bar tonight? Yep. Education Day coming up in a couple weeks. We're going to focus on client events and how that can help you grow your business. March Madness bracket, $10 buy-in. Amanda.
Aaron's gonna be in charge of it. And he can tell you more, but.
Scan that so you can be a part of it.
Yeah, the games start next Thursday, so it is Tuesday.
Plus, we're gonna be a big
Play-in game.
Yeah, I don't think they count those. Okay, almost there. Mercedes was beginning to talk about the Easter egg hunt coming up on Saturday, April 12th.
Okay, I'll be real quick. This is a really good event that you guys can touch your clients with. Call them, tell them about it. Doors open at 11. You can register on Eventbrite. It has the different breakdowns of what age group goes at what time. We're gonna have photos with the Easter Bunny. When you set up your own table, we just ask that you do something interactive with them. You know, it could be a raffle, so you can gather people's names. It could be, you know, like a game that you play with them. But yeah, it's at 11, doors open, and we end at 1. So please come.
Client event ready for you.
Yeah.
Yep, that's awesome. Thank you, Mercedes and the Culture Committee for that. And there's the bold stuff, which we talked about. All right, that was pretty good. All right, okay. We got lunch here, sandwiches and stuff. Education Committee starts at 12:30 in here. And enjoy the rest of your week, y'all. Thanks for being here.